And in 3, 2, 1, got with me here, Nathan Chesnut. How's it, man?
Good, dude. How are you?
Doing really
Thanks
well.
for having me on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me back. God,
Yeah.
I can't imagine having me back after the last time. I'm such a rambler.
Well, I like rambling. And second off, I had to have you on the show because you taught me how to make this table.
Oh, I know. It's like really cool to see this and this tile that you have over there too, and be like, I don't really feel like I'm in a huge way connected to it, but it does feel cool to like pass on this, like the knowledge and like, dude, yeah, you've crushed it obviously way harder than I ever have at any of this. This is a full table.
I know. I made a couple tiles. I didn't do anything. I sold away the resin or epoxy and the rest of the paints I had, and a year went by and we were about to move in. I was like, it's going to be on video. I don't want a boring ass table.
Yeah.
So I bought all new stuff, went for it, and it turned out pretty much perfect. And I'm like, whew, I think I just got really lucky.
Yeah, no, it's money. It's like such a cool, interesting color palette too, because like
I just wanted to use all the paint that I had.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a hodgepodge. It's not like even like all cool colors or all warm colors. Like you've got gold here against like all of these bright colors. Just good. It's fun. But
yeah, I might even start off the show by lighting up one of the Metolius CBD.
I was trying to light one up before the show, actually. So
nice, thank you. So yeah, I mean, you mostly smoke reefer, so weed might be a little, or CBD might be a little chill for you.
It might fuck me up. Who knows?
Fuck you up.
Yeah,
what if?
Hit a different receptor, I'll be like.
That'd be so funny. Bruh. No, I mean, literally last night we went to a weed store. I got some edibles. I got baked. I was up till like 4 a.m. Edibles last so long, and you're just so high that I'm like not having fun with what I'm doing, but I'm really into it.
Yeah, I think edibles sometimes feel like that's like I don't want to say like drug weed, but it's like more like psychedelic. Like I remember this one time I was super young. This was like the crazy days of like legal weed, where I went to this hash making workshop at a dispensary. It's just all these old Eugene people.
Yeah.
And we're like eating these hash cookies, and I went to work, and I was like a young river guide at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember going down the river, and it looked like, no, less young, but I remember the water, because it is super clear on the Mackenzie, but it just looked like hot plastic.
Yeah.
Like it was like viscous or something. Like if you put your hand into it, I was so high. I was like, oh my God, this is psychedelic. This is crazy. How am I at work?
Weed is literally psychedelic. I've been telling
it is.
Like, literally today I told Kenzie, I'm like, weed might be stronger than most psychedelics in many ways. Like if you get too high, like no matter what you're doing, you're kind of uncomfortable, time's distorted, and you're just like, what the fuck's going on, man?
No, straight up. I thought that too, like a lot of the medicinal effects that people say, oh, it helps you relax, helps you sleep, all that shit, right? Like, I mean, like you're saying, you're up till 4 a.m. from the edibles. I think it's more for like, if you use it all the time and you have a tolerance, it can help with some of those medicinal effects. But if you just like, or my grandma or something who's never been high, like it's not like I'm just going to relax.
They should sell edibles in like 1 milligram doses for those people. Like when you go into a store for the first time, they should be like, what's your like, have you ever smoked weed before? And they're like, no. They shouldn't just sell them like a dab pen or like anything like that. You'd be like, hey, first off, take 1 hit of bud.
Yeah, that's interesting. How would you do that if it's someone's first time?
Their first time. And they're going to read the package and it's like, 5 to 10 milligrams is a starter dose. And you're like, 10 milligrams gets me like toasted, man. I am absolutely out for the count.
It's actually funny. That makes me think of my mom this last weekend. She's anonymous. She'll never hear the podcast. Hopefully, I'm gonna. But she.
What's her home address though?
Social Security. No, but she just did mushrooms for the first time in like decades.
Nice.
And was with her homies and shit. And I was kind of neo-shamaning them. They were like, like
your
how
mom.
Much. Yeah, my mom.
Shamaning your mom. That was a trip.
It was pretty sick, and I had to go to work, so I wasn't there for the whole experience. But I was kind of dosing them out, telling them what things are gonna be like.
Yeah.
But before I guess I say what I did, what would you tell your mom who hasn't tripped in decades and her friends, maybe a little apprehensive, what would you give them for like their first dose?
I'd give them MDMA instead of mushrooms since they have a really good time. And then a week later, once they're in a really positive mindset and they're like taking the actions to better their life, I'd give them like probably like 1 to 1.5 grams. And then next day I'd give them 2.5 or 3 and be like, all right, now we're really going to go for it. And like, there's a bed, there's pre-made food, there's like 5 different options.
Dope.
And then I'm like, all right. And it's like daytime, not at night for me personally. Cause I'm like, you want to be able to see the sun. Cause if it's dark and you can't change settings, you just feel trapped, sometimes.
I can feel that. And I think actually it's kind of funny. Like, I gave them all a gram each.
Nice.
Left them with a scale and some more and was like, start there. And then, to be honest, probably you'll feel like, oh, this isn't overwhelming or anything, and then you can eat more later.
Yeah.
When I came home from work, my mom and her friend were both like, we didn't feel it. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, they each ate a gram, then they ate another, like, gram and a half. And they said they were chilling. They didn't feel it. The one friend got high. She was
Interesting.
high. I know, but I was like...
Yeah, how could you not feel psychedelics? That'd be an interesting thing.
I know, and I'm like, damn, I think it's almost one of these things where maybe you're over-prepared, you know what I mean? Where you're like, I haven't tripped in decades. I remember it like this thing, because you remember those, like...
And it's so different every time.
It's so different every time. And it's so... I think... like just the way memory works, you remember those like most impactful experiences, which is usually when you're like tripping balls,
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, which is like a setting thing and probably a dosage thing.
Hey, do you ever go through spouts where you take psychedelics more than other times in your life?
Oh yeah.
Do you notice that
ebbs
you
and flows.
Cry and you get way more emotional when you take psychedelics like every week or every couple days compared to like when you haven't taken psychedelics for like a year? I'm like, I get so hardened. And then I take psychedelics or I smoke DMT every couple days or like whatever. And I'm like so much more like just emotional and like grateful, and it's just so different.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can't say I've like really thought that much.
You a big crybaby?
God, especially 2021 has been the year of the cries, dude. No, I think I'm like pretty comfy with the taboo emotions that we try to.
It's so weird that it's taboo. It's like literally
so
built
weird
into us. It's like, well,
it's like it's almost as much a part of your experience. I mean, it is as much a part of your experience as anything else, right? Like, it perhaps is a little bit more uncomfortable than other stuff.
Maybe,
but
it's weird that that's taboo, but angry isn't taboo. Like if someone's like angry, like it's like, oh, that's a normal thing that people get. But like if someone like cries, people are like, whoa, this is a crazy unique situation. Like, why don't we switch these, honestly?
True. And I think too, like the coping mechanisms for being the person not necessarily experiencing the emotion but being around it.
Yeah.
People are so bad about being around people that are sad.
Yeah.
Like if someone even if you like start crying in the room right now, you know what I mean? Like there's this tension that I think folks feel, and that like there's so much resolve to want to be like, it's okay or something like that, to make you get over it so I don't have to also vicariously experience it too. But it's hard when it's like, it's kind of hard when it's like, there's like reasonable stuff that you can't just be like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Oh, like I mean, last year during the fire evacuations, I was talking to a bunch of people.
You were right over that direction, weren't you?
Oh yeah, you evacuated.
You were really close.
It was so crazy. Like, I thought it would be really fun to do a reconstruction of people's experiences as they evacuated, because there's probably just such a multitude of experiences, and mine would be in like the lighthearted, more funny chapters of the book, less tragic, Like, I had this rager party at my house the night before, and I like...
You woke up with all the smoke there?
Well, so rage balls, like one of those times where you're like all high and you're like, I'll work at 8 a.m., but I'm going to stay up all the way till 8 a.m. I'll just go straight to work. I don't need to sleep. And I slept for like an hour, and I just, fucking white knuckle crawl my way through work. Yeah. I actually rafted with it was a group of 4 Chinese folks that were speaking Mandarin all day. Wow. And I was like, thank God I don't have to speak English. Yeah, like they're chatting with themselves. I don't have to say anything because I'm sitting on the back of the boat just trying not to puke, Yeah. And I go home and I stopped by Blue River Market on the way home, which I never do, which ceased to exist in a few hours, which is the only reason I'm mentioning it. But then got home. Dirtball had forgotten something there, so he came out and actually got pranked. I know, I saw him on the wall.
Dirtball's on the wall.
What up? I actually got pranked because I was kind of being like mischievous the night before. Like, you ever see where people like go and like turn over all your furniture and shit?
No.
So like make like an abstract art project out of your home. Like everything becomes like balancing like cairns or whatever. Like with just like all your shit in your house. So I walk in all like hungover, like just made it through the work day, so tired. And I look at my house, I'm like,
All you want to do is sleep.
Yeah, I literally set my stuff down and just walked outside. I was like, I can't even be bothered to go in my house right now. That's fucking nonsense. But
Did you even flip it over before the fire came, though?
no, so then I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to clean my house. I'll take the high road here.
Yeah.
You know, I'll use this as an opportunity to better my space. This is
Nice.
great, you know. Clean my whole house. Dirtball comes through, grabs his phone, and we're sitting outside. We're like, man, it's getting kind of windy. It's like, all right, I'm going to take off. I go outside, and then there's this, like, all of my pot garden, like, my fence is, like, beating the hell out of my plants. Like, I'm, like, I had to run, take down my whole fence. I had to plant a full-on huge weed plant that was, like, one of these, like, probably 6 feet tall,
Nice.
beaster in a cage.
Yeah.
It blew out of the ground. Like, it broke at the base from the ground and was just,
Whoa.
yeah. So
After
it's like,
watering it with nutrients every day for
I know.
months, you're just like, no.
and then it was kind of like a mediocre-ish garden, and it was one of the bigger plants. And I was
Yeah.
like, damn it.
Did you come back with cinder over everything there?
Yeah.
Caked.
Yeah.
So, like, all the hairs burnt up, and it was, like,
You know-
nothing salvageable?
No, it was crazy how decent the weed actually ended up being. There was more bud rot than usual, I think, because there was just more particulate matter on the plants
yeah.
and all of that. But I'm like super duper liberal with how I cut that out anyway. Like, if it's like whatever, it's on this part of the nug, I cut it like at the base and just get it all out.
Nice.
Some people use it for blasting and stuff too.
Seems wrong.
I don't know how science
Or how
works,
mold
but it
goes
seems
away.
it seems questionable to me. You know,
This is actually some shatter made from moldy bud.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
like,
gonna be like, I'm good. I don't,
yeah, and like that's how you would. For me, that's how that batch would be because you do it like strain by strain.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it was all my moldy buds, it would just be a batch of moldy buds.
Yeah.
And so when I'm selling it, I'm like, okay, I've got this live res, I got the OG Kush, I got the Durban Poison, I got the moldy buds.
moldy bud.
That's $100 off an ounce. Sounds a little cheaper, but it looks great.
I'll
Dude.
pay you to take it off my hands.
Yeah, I don't smoke that one, but you
Well,
can.
might.
You know people on the East Coast?
I'm looking for some middle schoolers who are gullible.
People that just want to get high and not think about the health consequences, you
It's
know?
like there's mold growing on the oil. This can't be good, man. You just like blowtorch it off every day.
Yeah, just a little
like,
scrape it off the top,
Yeah.
torch it,
That's
melt it
so
down.
funny.
No, but it was kind of crazy, like that whole salvaging of the grow. Because like during the summer is kind of my balls to the wall time period, right? Like it's when I do guiding, it's when I do growing.
Yeah.
I do, like Jam Fest and all of my like, band stuff's busier during the summer. So it's
Schmear.
kind of like, yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Schmear.
We're going to record new shit in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Stoked. But it's kind of like the white knuckling period of so much stuff going on. And then it all came to a screeching halt. Like no river,
Yeah.
no grow. I can't even be at home anymore. So I'm like, oh my God, like what to do? It was
Like summer ended like a month early because that happened. It's
Yeah,
like,
it
what are you
was-
gonna do? Restart? Like
exactly. And it was like
crazy.
like such a such just a concise ending.
Yeah, but your house didn't burn down. It was just covered in ashes and.
House was good. Salvaged the grow. It was kind of crazy. Like there was a police blockade like 2 miles from the house.
Yeah.
And for like days, I kept going there, and they'd be like, "Okay, so the real situation is I'm like, I need to water my weed plants. This is my livelihood. I need to go do that, but I can't say that." So I go up to him. I'm like, "I can't find my kitties." You know, I literally actually said kitties the first day. I was
Every
with
day.
Tyler, my buddy Tyler Regan.
Yeah.
And we cruise up there, and I'm like, "I gotta find my kitties," and they're like, "No way, dude!" Like, and Tyler said when I said kitties out of my mouth, he just walked away. He just went back to the van. He's like, "You're a fucking idiot." Like, why do you think these cops are going to be like, "Oh, you can't find your kitty? See, I'll go ahead,
Go
home."
right over there, man.
Yeah, I was like,
How
okay.
far away was the fight? Like a mile off, or like how like?
From our God, that
It
was
was like one house before.
no, it was like one of the crazy aspects of it too, is because when you're looking at Google, right? Like there's a actual blockade and you can't be there, and it's super smoky, so you can't. Your visual distance shit is like all thrown off.
Yeah.
So like you're just relying on Google and shit at that point, right? So you Google a fire map, and when you look at a fire map, which I've seen before, but I didn't like care about them until it was like close to my
So
house.
it's you, yeah.
When you see a border and then all the area inside is red, it's so confusing because you're like, is it raging inferno of death right here on this corner?
Yeah.
Or is it like small spot fires mostly put out? And so there was this edge on the fire map that just kept creeping closer and closer to the house. And there's no way to tell, like, okay, is this out of control? Like, people aren't even fucking firefighting it because it's gnarly. All these houses are getting mowed. Or is it just little spot fires, just kind of
you were at a
extending the
hotel
border?
this whole time looking at a map of your house maybe being torched up in flames.
No, I was at my boss's house, which was crazy actually too.
That's so funny. I thought they gave all those people like hotels or something for like a week.
We had a place to stay and kind of thought that if we had a place to stay, we would save those spaces for those that needed it. You know,
Nice.
I was doing like a bunch of the volunteer. Like disaster relief stuff basically every day too, and like
Nice. I'm doing all this stuff. Can I just go water my plants?
I know, right? I actually last year was there was social tension about police officers in general last year,
Yeah,
you know,
good way of
but
phrasing it.
yeah, for sure the most I like, I'm not writing a trend here. I've never been a huge fan of police officers and just authority in general.
You seem like someone who'd have like one of those blue stripe flags
Blue
at your house.
Not quite.
I really appreciate officers' presence in the community.
Yeah, not exactly my go-to favorite peeps, but that was the most I've ever let a cop have it, because it's actually also probably the time I felt like
fucking kids.
Yeah, look at my cats.
Yeah, wait, you gave him shit that time or like the next time?
No, it was the final straw day. It was like I'd gone like 3-4 days in a row.
Oof.
And they kept being like, tomorrow you come back and we'll let you through and you can go and do your shit and then you can come back. And I'm like, word, because they can see my address, right, on my ID, and they can actually verify that I live like 2 miles up where I say I'm going, because people were tripping about looting and all of that, because it did happen.
Totally.
You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Didn't even
which
consider that until right now. I was like, oh yeah, duh.
oh yeah, it happened to an unfortunate
sad.
amount, you know.
Yeah.
It is kind of I don't know. Yeah, I don't like pass huge amounts of judgment about that, because some of the communities have like a huge separation of wealth, right? And so when you're living in this like crazy disaster mode where you're like fleeing your, I'm sorry, I want to say I'm condoning people like looting other people's houses.
Choose
That's
chaos.
Like, yeah, and well, I just mean like if you are super broke and everything's burning down around you and you go for like a mad scramble move and you kind of like, go loot someone's house and steal their shit.
It's not completely ununderstandable. It's bad.
Exactly.
Worth condoning, but it's like, I understand where their headspace is at.
Exactly. There's a context here. It's not in a vacuum where this person's just like, oh, natural disaster, I'm going to take advantage of people, which is kind of like, that's kind of the thing that was my frustration with people's rhetoric, is be like, in the middle of this thing where everyone's getting damaged, people are taking advantage. And I'm like, yeah, but like, people are scrambling to exist. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not saying that
It was at the end of a
right.
pandemic year. It was at the, like literally, like there was looting all over. It was a chaotic year.
It was crazy.
Not good.
I think I let a little bit extra out on that cop that time, because it was just like, it was a little tension, but also like not doing their jobs well.
Did he listen? Like, did you, after yelling at him, did he let you through, or was he just like, fuck this guy?
I'd already gotten through. That was kind of my point, is there was 2 entry points to go up to my house. You could go either Camp Creek or 126, either which way. And going Camp Creek, they told me I couldn't go for like the 3rd, 4th day in a row. And I was just like, fuck this. I'm going to go try the other entry point and just see if they'll let me through. And they didn't even check my ID. They were just like waving through a line of cars, you know? So I went and I watered my plants, which was epic, actually. I took like a 250-gallon reservoir to the river, filled it up, put it on a trailer, took it back to my house, and like watered my plants with this like super ashy river water. It felt like Mad Max shit.
For them, they'll be okay.
Yeah, I know.
Did
I
you,
was
like,
kind of
blow dry them off or like shake them or anything?
Yeah. No, I took like a leaf blower and
Nice.
blasted all that shit off of them. Yeah, but basically on my way back through, I went down Camp Creek because I could go out that way, and I got to that crux. And the thing is,
It's the same cop again. So
yeah, no, and on purpose, I went that way to be like, because it was the first time I didn't feel like I just got busted for something and I gotta kind of cover my own ass. I was like,
Borrow someone's cats. to like bring.
Oh yeah, wait, where are your kids?
No, I'm like, my cat's died. This is tragedy. Look at how much harder you're making my life. If I got there 3 days earlier, little Fluffy would be fine.
Would have been okay.
No, but I just basically went to say, like, you should be consistent. This is really hard for everybody, and you shouldn't be making it harder by your very, very poor performance of your job. Like, if they're letting people through on just a straight up wave and not even check shit, 10 miles from here, everyone has a fucking cell phone now. You guys should be, they should be stopping people, or y'all should be letting people through. And like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
Was the cop receptive?
He copped down on me so hard, which is actually why I got so irate with him, because I was wearing all black, which was contested last summer too, but I just like metal. Black is my favorite color.
Badass.
It's just the clothes I also had on that day, but I came up with hands in my pocket. I just watered my plants. No, it smelled more like fire than anything.
Probably everything.
Yeah.
But you don't have cats. You come and smell like wearing all black.
Yeah, he basically was like, take your hands out of your pockets as you come up here and shit. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I'm not a criminal. I'm here to tell you that you suck at your job. But I was going to do it politely, and now I'm going to do it less politely. And I just basically told them, like, I just went through right there, and I just watched you turn this car away. Like, should I just go to them and tell them that they should go on 126 and go up there? Because this shit's really hard for people. Like, people, and that's the one thing I am trying to stand behind my cat thing. But I am like, people are dealing with actual shit, right? Like, it's not just about me. It's about the community at this point. And when you're making it harder for, like, fucking grandma to get her medicine over there, like, that's an actual shitty service that you're doing to the community, especially when she could go just a different route and get her shit that she needs. Like, you're sucking at your job, and I'm just trying to, like, actually not even call you out and shit, just kind of let you know, hey, I got right through on the other side. So you might want to give them a little ring-a-ling-bing
sign right there that just says, like,
go to 126.
1 mile before. This cop's a dick. Go to 126.
Straight up. And that's I honestly thought about just standing there and just waving people on, being like, oh, go this way, they'll let you through. Like, and he was not at all stoked with my presence and my feedback, which is okay. Like, that's okay.
That was crazy. I would have expected him to be receptive.
Yeah, he was just copping down on me so hard and was like acting like I was like some sketchy criminal or something. I'm like, dude, I'm the fucking victim of a natural disaster right now, and you just suck, dude. I told him to quit his job and shit. Because the most insulting thing that I heard was, we don't really want to be out here either. And I was like, motherfucker, how dare you? You're at work and you're doing a job. I know that it's unfortunate, but like, all these people, including myself, are evacuated from our house, right? Like, we really don't want to be here. We're not on a level playing field. You're driving home to your house afterward, aren't you?
And you're getting paid to be here.
And you're getting paid to be here. Like, just be better at your job. Like, I'm not even like being a super Karen, like, oh, where's the manager? I'm just like trying to say, like,
I speak to the manager, just have like a chief or whatever.
And be like, you need to reel them in. They need to do their jobs better. It's like, dude,
what's your badge number?
Yeah, straight up. That's like, maybe I should have taken the, maybe more super like white dad approach. You have like hands on hips, like, what's your badge number?
Smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do with your name and badge number? I'm gonna hire 2 gay porn actors to dress up as you and go at it, and I'm gonna label it your name and badge number, and that'll be out there. Whenever people look up your name, that's the first thing that'll be, and they're gonna look like you.
That's a good one, actually.
I'm surprised. I never get to use my revenge story like ideas, but I come up with really good ones.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is
what we need in
the taboo emotions we were just talking about earlier. They have their place. Like, I honestly left that interaction with the cop and was like, God, I don't really like being like angry and like unkind very often, but sometimes, like, you get in that role and you like slayed it, and you just said shit that was like smart and pointed, and you like thought quickly, and you like said cutting things, and you won the day. Sometimes you walk away and it's like, fuck you. That was sick.
It's not recorded. He's going home thinking he won. Beat that cop.
I think I won that one. I think it was like a unanimous decision.
Nice. All the other cops are like clapping at you, like, we fucking hate working with this sack of shit.
I know, yeah. I hope so, but Yeah, it was a overall bizarre experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that everyone's kind of against cops now. Even like a right-wing guest that came on like 4 or 5 days ago, he was like, I fucking hate cops. And I'm like, it's almost becoming pretty unanimous. Like, for a while, like, right-wing people were like jerking them off, being like, no, I stand strong with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like, what? Now that they're like helping, I'm like, it's just so chaotic out there that I'm like, you guys got to tune out of this and stop paying attention when you see a cop just like, I don't know. What do you do? How do you even fix something like this? Does it start at like above top-down change, or does it start as like a whole community of people? Like, what do you even do? It's such an entrenched system that's been going for hundreds of years of like, let's reform the way that we keep people in line, because there does need to be some level of like keeping people in line. How do you change that to a better system?
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things where I think I've gotten better at this in life for me personally, is knowing where your level of expertise is and not overstating stuff.
Yeah.
So as I've engaged these conversations with people, I'm like pretty for the abolition of police, but not abolition of anything that helps like maintain how do you say that, like
order,
like accountability,
order in the court. We were gonna get Kenzie a gavel, and then I'm like, am I being so loud in here eventually? So we're not gonna gavel it up. We may, but yeah. Maybe.
It'd be good. Yeah, but I think somebody to like
look more for the camera. Look more like this way.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Nice.
Sorry, I just realized we're all three hanging here.
How's he look in the camera? It's
Looks
funny.
great.
At a certain point, I realized he's like looking this way. I'm like, the camera's right there.
If you're gonna lean, definitely go.
Yeah.
That.
This way?
Yeah, that's gold.
Yeah,
also,
you
just
look-
ignore her
yeah.
completely. I'm kidding. For one show, we're thinking of putting like curtains down, so she's like literally can't be seen. There's like a hand coming through it, switching.
I think
That'd be fun.
hilarious.
It'd be pretty
like
funny.
I just pop out really quick, and I'm like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
Just a quick peek.
Kenzie, this is a real guest. Stop. I start getting really mean, like making the guest uncomfortable.
Yeah, that would actually be. Have you thought about doing that? Like
making people uncomfortable?
Yeah, like a
Like
bit. Like
Yeah.
y'all have like a bit.
Oh, we have time. And to
We've
the
been
point.
daydreaming of them.
Yeah, like we're gonna wear almost when you came, I almost dressed up in like a suit, and Kenzie dressed up, and like you came underdressed, and then the next guest we're both wearing bathrobes, and we're like, whoa, you're way overdressed for this event. We're gonna like sauna like
That'd actually be great because like I'd be like, I thought it was a podcast. I didn't even know there was a
What the-
video, dude.
What's going on here? And we actually have like Pope, priest, and cop outfits that we'll wear, and I'm gonna get some more and stuff. But like, if it was on air when I brought you in your water, I would have brought it like with my fingers in it, like kind of thing. Just whatever you can to make people like kind of uncomfortable. Like,
Next time.
what?
Oh, that's great.
That's really funny.
Just come and just like set it down, like completely gripping
Submerged.
it. Yeah, submerged hands.
Yeah, just
there you go.
Sorry, I was washing my fingers real quick with your water.
With your water. Just take it off and just lick it clean. Oh, but yeah. What kind of brew you drinking, man? You drinking a cider or a
Oh, this is a Fort George
hot man?
three-way IPA. They do
I don't get IPA stuff. It's so bitter in your mouth. It's like when you drink milk and then you have it in your mouth for a couple hours. I was like, doesn't taste that great. That's
I usually
what beer
swallow
is to
it before the
couple
hours.
Turn into cheese.
Yeah, it's butter at that point, churning in your mouth.
Yeah.
No, I like the IPAs. I kind of laugh at myself because I really follow the market trends. You know what I mean? Like
With the beer market trend.
yeah, like I really like hazy IPAs right now. Once the market takes a new turn for what's like trendy,
Yeah.
I'll probably be like, oh, I like that too. You know?
That's so funny.
But yeah, I'm a little, I think kind of like everybody, you got to admit that we're all, how do you say it, able to be marketed to. So not marketable like
yeah.
you're marketable, but
Yeah.
we can market shit to you.
I literally,
you know?
yeah, I think I put that in my story,
Yeah.
or I either texted it or put it on my story where I'm like, I used the like a special word like fun or cool or quality or whatever, and I'm like, I bought it. I'm like, wow, I'm really easy to market to. Like it's like kind of a cool color, like kind of a flashy. I mean, I literally bought this is just sparkling water.
I know, and it's
but
called Liquid
expensive.
Death.
Yeah, Liquid Death, murder your
It's like
thirst.
so,
So good.
murder your thirst.
Yeah, so it's
wow.
so fun. So and it's gold. So I'm like,
I know.
Literally, this is just carbonated water.
That's so funny. Like my first, I'm like grateful for this now that I think about it. My first girlfriend and I used to be incredibly honest about what we were doing in the store. Sometimes, like we'd be like, "Oh, let's get some dish soap or whatever," you know. And we're sitting there and we're looking at the different options, right?
Yeah.
And so many times we'd be like, "Yo, we're just looking at packaging, right?" Word. I like that font.
Which one looks the greenest?
Yeah, and it's like that's like pure marketing, and I know 100,000,000%. I was actually just at Beerstein before I came over here, and there's a case of like million beers or whatever, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like all I'm looking at is the art, because like also craft beer can art should be
So
like a
cool.
subgenre of art. There should be like
That's a good
art
way.
shows. Like there's oh my god, this one brewery I just saw a beer sign called Tripping Animals, and it's like a fucking goose, like all spun out.
Yeah.
On the can art. Like that's incredible. Like what?
And did you get it?
And it was like $9 a beer.
That's
I was
the
like,
whole thing.
fuck
You
you
get
guys.
to
I'm not
craft-
paying your artists that much.
Yeah, you get to these craft beers and you're like, that's $6 for one 12-ounce drink.
Yeah.
Right
But I
here.
don't like the
How-
taste
They don't
of.
even. Yeah.
I
It
know.
makes me feel awful.
And I feel like the really expensive ones are they're kind of like exploratory ones where it's like Ninkasi's
for-
got that one where they sent the yeast to fucking outer space or some shit, and it's
I
like
had no idea. That's funny though.
I actually have one of those at my house. Just a buddy gave it to me.
It
It's-
tastes exactly like regular beer.
yeah, what an arbitrary jerk offy process specifically for that one. Like
Hey.
we sent the yeast to outer space like that. That has nothing to do with beer.
Nothing. Take all that money you were gonna do doing that, make your beers cheaper. I'll be more likely to buy them. Like literally, like all these companies do these weird marketing things where I'm like, take that money and make your product cheaper, and I will buy it more. Rather than like, oh, that's a good.
Oh,
marketing
you sent your
stunt.
yeast to outer space?
Crazy.
Sold.
Definitely willing to
Done.
spend even more.
Yeah, $12 for one 22-ounce beer. Fucking.
Did you drink it? Or
bout
you just have the bottle?
I
Saving it.
see, that's what I'm saying. I'm such a dirtbag that seems like the most. It seems like $1,000 bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know when to open it. I'm like, oh my god, maybe when I get married, I'll drink this beer.
I'm waiting for a special occasion. That's too
My
funny.
first child is born. I'll pour this on their forehead. No, I don't fucking know. I was gonna
You
drink
pour
it at
it out.
Jam Fest, but I forgot.
You save it for like whatever 80 more years, and at your burial, like they pour that out for you. The whole time they pour it on you, like
Be like,
it's magic.
this $12 beer he saved for 80 years. God, no, I hope I live that long. Actually started a
CrossFit?
incentivizer to exist is what they call it.
Cool.
I think. No, IRA.
I've
but a
never
long
heard
term.
of a phrase like that. Like a long, like you put money away and you get it like forever.
Yeah, no one actually calls it an existence incentivizer. But when they were like,
Yeah, I like
when
that.
you don't get your money until you're 59 and a half,
Yeah,
you're like,
pull it closer to the mic, or
Oh.
even pull it back to you. Like
no.
it can travel.
okay, tight.
Nice. Anyways,
Um,
when you don't get your money until you're 58, 59,
59 and a half.
Yeah.
A really
for
arbitrary
now,
age.
it'll be like 65 by the time you're 59.
Oh my god, yeah. I actually didn't read the contract. Are they able to like change it?
Yeah,
Like,
I think they changed like retirement ages. Like every couple of years they like they add a tack like a half year to it.
well, I think when I was even saying this as I was giving this person money, and which is the funny thing, like imagine me in like an economic situation, like investing with somebody. They're like, oh Jesus Christ! But I was like, 59 and a half. You really think I'm gonna make it there? Like, what happens if I die?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, I mean, normally not everybody just leads with that. But
My top concern is I may die.
yeah, like 59 and a half.
I can
Think
spend
about
that money today.
I was even saying that to him in the thing. I'm like not even halfway there, and I'm kind of amazed that we've made it so far. Like the amount of things that could have killed me that like will probably continue to be features of existence.
Oh yeah. Nutty.
You think
I
you're
know.
gonna make it to 59 and a
I
half?
don't even know if it's me or just like this part of the world or humanity as a whole or what. Ashing all over yourself. But
I'm
I'm like,
so sorry.
sorry, shirt. But it's like, yeah, that's why I'm starting to have. I don't know. It's so hard to balance like happiness and success tomorrow versus happiness and success today, and being like, you got to kind of do like 50-50. Like, so your money that's in the IRA, it's in like stocks or bonds or that boring stuff. Nice.
Something
Did you
like
pick
that.
them or did they pick them?
So it was funny. It was like
They just picked Monsanto. And
No, that's it exactly right. I've had money in like a savings account for like a really long time, and I struggle to invest it because if you're investing in stocks, you're investing in corporations, and I kind of just like don't like any of them. You know what I mean? No matter how quote unquote ethical they are, I'm like just the structuring of that I find problematic on like a fundamental level that there's no. it's kind of like the there's no good cops thing, which is its own argument too. But it's like really hard to find like an ethical corporation, in my opinion.
Put it in next door. The next door person who hired me, he owns a publicly traded company. It's like a $500 million. They make electric vehicles, these 3-wheeled electric vehicles. And he like lives his mantra of like, he doesn't have AC in his house. Like he doesn't really drive any other cars. I've never seen him in not a FUV.
What?
And they're electric and they're like really high, like efficient.
I saw Dirtball post a video of you guys. What are those called again? Archimoto?
You should try one out. If there's one available before you leave and it's still like light enough, you should try one out. They're a blast, man.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's a
Really
publicly
fun.
traded company.
Publicly traded.
Yeah.
So like
See-
wherever you buy stocks, you could buy that, and then you actually are like working to make humanity better. So there's some that are like kind of cool. I'm a dirtbag. I put my money in Google and Amazon and Apple and stuff too. But
Yeah, so that's basically, I was like, can you find like ways to invest that are ethical? And he did the well, this one's kind of the ethical option. And I'm like looking in, and then like it's Facebook and Amazon and all this shit. And I'm like, what? How's
all our
this?
slave labor is used in other countries.
I know, that's what
Where
I'm like.
humanity's worth less.
Yeah, like what was the threshold of ethics that y'all went for? You know,
I don't
like
think we use plastic at all.
Yeah, and I kind of was thinking like a lot of them too. Like I mean, I think Facebook was the top invested one for that portfolio or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm fucking.
You start going on Facebook more. I'm paying myself.
That's actually a good idea. I like fucking hate Facebook because I just hate people thinking that their opinion matters when they're just little fucking peons. You know, we're just all people. You know, I was actually talking to somebody on my boat about this the other day about people with really intense political opinions, in my opinion, don't think politically ever at all. Like they never actually take into account how difficult super macro conversation, but like the balancing of economics and health as related to COVID and mask mandates and businesses shutting down. If you actually think about what it means to think politically in a situation like that, like I think most people are running for the hills, like myself included. Like I never want to make that decision. It sucks. It's
For
like
thousands of people's lives.
millions.
It's millions.
Like
It's
millions. Like
so hard.
And no one's. There's no like decision where everybody just goes like, where that all makes sense.
Yeah, but
You
it's
know
like,
what I mean?
whichever way you go, a certain 1,000 million amount of people are going to die, and you're responsible for that. Like, there is no right decision, and no one would want to be in the position where they're making that. No,
Yeah.
I totally agree, man.
And it's like that shit's not something that you just like post a angry sentence or mock a sentence mocking somebody on Facebook about. Like I think the actual political engagement is so much more nuanced and actually just actually sucks, you know, just like it's a thing I don't think anybody really wants to
That's
do.
funny. That's like my number one question when I have like bureaucratic people on the shows. I'm like, why would you invite this into your life? Why would you invite like such subtle nuance that's like just, I mean, like the more you think about it, it'd be like, this is a headache, man.
I know, like
There's
how
no
do
right
we
answers.
how do we allocate the funds for a bike lane construction in Eugene? You know what I mean? Like even that, you're like, fuck.
Or
People are gonna people are gonna be pissed.
And the
There's
big one
gonna
is
be
how do you
riots.
allocate funds to prevent fires from happening this year? And then what if there's no fires happen? You wasted all that money that could have gone toward housing homeless people, or like, and then what if you spend it on that and then a fire? It's like, whoa, that's a mind fuck. To like
Yep.
on a small scale, and then a national scale, it's like they're probably not even making any decisions. They're probably just like hundreds and hundreds of smaller decisions are being made. I don't know, man. What does the president do?
Right,
If
right.
anything.
And it's just, I think, just the main irony of people not being able to like understand and empathize with that, you know, because like it's just such a polarized landscape that we live in right now, where I think a lot of people just have this like idea that things are so much more straightforward than at least they seem to me when I think about a thing. Like I mean, like you've even just said the fires, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what are we going to be doing about that, right? Like,
Crazy.
where are you from again?
I'm from right here, Eugene.
Are you from here too?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember growing up having
We're
like?
brother and sister.
Yeah. Yeah. Do y'all remember fires at all growing up? I don't know. If that's like.
I remember a fuck ton more rain than we have now.
Yeah.
I remember cool, you know, I remember plants being happy. I remember everything being different. I'm like, oh, things are changing.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too. Like I really remember the rain thing as being super different. Like
Way different.
it felt like right about this time of year you were like almost like worshiping the sun and being like, oh my God, it's going to be gone for months now.
And now like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice during the winter. We get like these random days of like, 60s or something, not super
nice,
hot, but it's
yeah.
like super nice sunny weather.
That's like the weather I like now.
Yeah, and it's so obviously, right, like the ecosystem, even locally, right, is, we can acknowledge, is changing. Not that, like, I don't think I'm convincing you guys of climate change or anything, but just in terms of the fires, like, there's so much, there's a lot of complexity, I think, to like how we deal with that as we go forward. And
Absolutely.
it's, yeah,
and then you have to deal with all the private timberlands, and it's like, it even gets more complex the further you go into it. That's why I invite you on the shows, for very nuanced political points.
About fires.
The hippiest guy I know to make really, really rational points about nuanced politics. That's my language.
That's what I like to think about. That's what I think
Nobody's
about,
right
dude.
or wrong.
Environmental soch is kind of my.
It is ironic.
Yeah, it is.
That you're like, yeah, people shouldn't have like opinions on Facebook. You come on a podcast. So, anyways, my opinions though. Now that I have a platform, it's like, but I'm like, I'm specifically asking you.
That's why I don't go on Facebook. I would like leak all of them out. And so I gotta wait till I come on like a podcast or have like a mad interesting conversation, and then I can just have all of it pent up. Exactly.
Yeah, I like it because you don't come charged with like the typical political quips. Like sometimes I have like someone on the show who's like always left wing, always right wing. Every time they say like a talking point that either AOC or Tucker Carlson says, I literally just call them out as like, oh yeah, right wing talking point. Because it's like, it's so not fun to like, it doesn't add anything to a conversation. I'm like, I know that's a manufactured point that was like hundreds of millions of dollars was spent to put that in front of your face a couple times.
Money. That's like so
It's
beautiful.
Yes.
I was doing this thing last year where I was every day hitting New York Times and Fox News headlines and would just scroll through on my phone. It's like,
because you're a big Fox News supporter, right?
big fan.
But you support it by scrolling through it. That's a crazy part of it.
And actually, I will say, like, everybody thinks like their political bias news source is the one that's more accurate or whatever. But I will say Fox News is straight up clickbait on so much of the shit. Like, it's like
clickbait on both sides. It's all clickbait by
I
definition.
think New York Times is less interesting clickbait, at least. Like, it's like at least maybe like about some story or something. Whereas like literally Fox News will have like a football player does something nobody else has ever done before, and like the top 3 of their headlines or something, where
Fox
it's
News
like,
isn't for me. Alex Jones, that's when I get into real reporting.
wow, that's funny. I saw a bumper sticker about InfoWars and listen to Alex Jones today, and I was kind of like, I kind of don't even know what the tone, like the tonality is.
Listen to his episode on Joe Rogan. It's like a good entry point to him. And then if you ever listen to like a solo show of him, I'm like, he takes it a little far. He's like, the globalists can fuck me in the ass. Like literally, like word for word, things that I'm like, this is clickbait too. Almost all news except like Reuters, like whatever the actual exact political middle is. That just there's like 1 or 2 that just say facts, and it's not like, hey, here's our opinion on it. CNN and like all left wing things are also opinion. It's all opinion pieces rather than news, where it's like
and manufacturing of opinions, which is what you're saying too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's like a thing I really have trouble with too, because like it's a really, really hard thing to like know when someone's saying something to you, especially when they're intense about it, right?
Yeah, and there's bright
and you're like
colors, and they have statistics that
but you're like, you are saying the thing that people are paying millions of dollars to have you say.
Totally.
Like, this isn't your thought. Like, I don't want to be like, this is Inception and you're just a puppet. But I mean, like, to be honest,
to put thoughts in your head.
Yeah, like I doubt that you came to this logical conclusion on your own. Yeah. And if you did, like, let's think it out together and like maybe work out some of the points that are like not all the way fleshed through.
You're the panel member on all Fox News and all CNN like things anymore. You actually make discourse way more. You would, honestly. Having you there would be a blast to see. But like, if you were to guess how much money was spent in the 2020 election, what would you say?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Do you know the number?
I do.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow, that's cool.
No, that's cool. This
like
is
a big number. Throw out a pretty big number.
Yeah. Wow. Got $4 billion.
$14 billion.
Wow.
And that's all for Trump, Biden, and also for like the
smaller
yeah,
ones.
but like that's a lot of fucking money. That's like $1 million a day, over $1 million a day for each side
so
to produce
crazy.
news. That's really we're talking about how marketable we are with packaging. How marketable too are we with news?
And
you
our
know?
opinions and our perceptions.
Where
It's like,
oh, we know this person agrees with A, B, and C. Logically, we know they'll accept D, so then they put that in front of you. And it's like, they're just gathering these like almost religious kind of cults that have a very similar groupthink, where it's like, hold up, you should not agree. Like, we even, though, like, if we're, say, skew on the same side, we shouldn't agree on all the same stuff. Just because we're same place politically, we should have, like, different thoughts. Because if we have all the same opinions, it's like, well, we're not clear thinkers. We just crowdsource all of our thoughts from the news and Reddit and stuff, which I do to some extent. But
well, I think that nobody's thinking in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's just that has the superposition on the fucking social world that we live in, where they're, like, looking down on this petri dish that's existing in front of them, and they're outside it somehow. Like we're
how
all
I benefit from this occurring. Like, oh, I'm kind of in a fire zone. We should definitely allocate more money to the fire zone.
Yeah.
And that's just you, not even your friends or corporations that are giving you money. It's like, it gets so deep, you know? I'm like, honestly, all elected people should have all of their email, text, and everything public. Even like 1 week delayed. It's like, it should be more public.
Actually, that's funny. I thought about this like a bunch of years ago, is that like just as almost more of a disbelief in the way that it functions now. Part of me was like, I would almost be down for the next president to be like a randomly selected social security card and give it to someone who's completely unqualified, like the dude 3 doors down the street down there,
Literally
and like
random.
significantly limit the power and make it all super public and make it like fucking jury duty, you know? And
Hilarious. If all elected officials were selected randomly, hey, you have this job for 2 years. Wow.
wouldn't it be like, I don't even know. I don't know if it would actually be better. I'm not saying that's like
That's a really good idea.
I'm not thinking this is like the ultimate political system that we like achieved. But
random.
it is like, when you think about like how it almost is like, oh, it couldn't be fucking that much worse than what we've got now. It's kind of like,
Yeah, good point.
it's just kind of
It would weed out the people who just want power. It's like, oh, well, you can't purposefully power your way into getting that position. You can't like, oh, dirty deal with friends and corporations. It's like, no, it's random.
That's kind of
know?
what I think the point is, right? Is
That's
that like
really cool.
your ulterior motives, maybe you have them,
And you can't get
right?
reelected. So you can't like, okay, now I need to start making people like
and
me.
you did your two
Fixes a lot of
years,
shit.
make it like real, like shorter or whatever, you know? And
Yeah.
it'd be kind of fun too.
It'd be
like,
really cool.
it'd be kind of, especially with like the American demographic of like who it could be.
Until you
It
get
could
an
be-
actual crazy person in there. Like you sound like one of like an actual genuine lunatic. No, we need more ducks in the parks. I think we should spend the majority of our then we'll need people cleaning up the poop in the park. It's like
It's creating jobs.
Creating jobs. It would just be so random. What if all the roads were tiled instead of concrete? Like
Instead of a yellow stripe, we're gonna repaint everything,
repaint
and it's gonna be
everything.
blue. It's gonna be sick.
every state's different. In terms of, no, like I always get green and yellow confixed. Why don't we have it like a rainbow? And then it's tier system based on how much of a rush you're in. You can go through it. You're like, what the fuck's going on? You're literally learning new rules every other month, every other year.
Probably less wars though, you know. I don't know.
Because how are you gonna like? Oh, the last guy didn't like you, and you're both new. Nah, we're chill. Fuck those people.
Yeah, we're all good.
We're all good here.
I don't know. Maybe we'll do that in the future. We'll just randomly
I actually really like this idea.
I think it would be kind of like
Some
a fun.
level of means testing people.
Yeah, I almost wish you could like simulate experience. I've been really thinking about this a lot lately. That like life does feel so arbitrary. Like the direction that it moves. Like I think everybody has these like super random tiny moments in their life that like completely and utterly shape the course of your existence. There was like no way to actually know it could happen and all of that.
Do
like,
I go
like,
this street or this street? You get mugged on that street and you go home that street. Your life's changed forever.
exactly like this
literally
like
now it's,
crazy
like,
butterfly ripple effect thing.
Crazy. With people, now it's controlling dating. Like people say Facebook's strong because it controls who you're talking to. Like Tinder and stuff associates who you fuck and therefore who your kid is. So who you swipe left and right on is now dictating the next generation of
That's like actually
children.
kind of crazy. I've never thought about
Right?
Tinder's influence on the next generation
Isn't
of
that
human
insane?
beings.
So it's like that's how much literally one swipe of your thumb affects the rest of your life is what partner and what kid you have.
God, yeah, that's crazy. I watched a Tinder date yesterday. I was at the I was like out getting drinks with my friend.
Yeah.
And like we saw like a obvious like Tinder date going down, and it's so fun. Like what a I think dating in this era, I think it has its weirdnesses, you know. I don't personally like the dating
You have a
apps.
partner,
I feel
don't
like
you?
no.
Rip.
I'll
Mention
talk
last
the
time you
rest of the
cried.
podcast about my
About
heartbreak.
that
No,
you
just
just literally
saying.
smash on her for like 20 minutes, and she would always leave
No.
the dishes. She would put it spoons
No.
up, so you have to grab it to put it away. And it's like, is she mental?
No, more like I'm not worthy. God, how did I lose this thing? No, I'm just
Rip.
joking. It has actually been a bizarre year in regard to that, but the dating app thing,
Yeah.
keep it focused where it matters.
Yeah.
No, just joking. But
Nothing personal. You'll get too close to crying. You were late in the episode. I don't really cry. I don't
yeah,
really cry.
is it late in the episode to
I mentioned
cry?
one thing. No, but the dating
No.
app thing.
Yeah, I think it fucks my psychology up and other people. Like I look at people in a very particular different like.
Because the amount of time you spend on Grindr or what?
No, I'm thinking more like as I sit
mental.
here and I'm swiping like it's incredibly judgmental, which is like fine and fair, you know. I think
Yeah.
you do the same thing when you walk into a bar and you walk past 20 people and you are attracted to one. That's 20 left, one
Yeah,
right.
it
That's
kind
the
of
same
is.
sort of thing, but it feels like it interacts with my psychology in a way where I just start like really thinking about myself as like this swipeable object commodity
You
person.
see yourself on the other side of people.
Yeah, and I also like feel bad to do that to other people because I'm like
I would
seeing
die to
people
see
where
your
I'm
Tinder
like,
profile.
I'm like, oh, I bet you're really nice,
Yeah.
you know, but
Your
or I'm like,
cheekbones are a little low for me.
yeah, exactly. And it's like that just seems shitty, you know, like
Redhead, I only date this, like little
Yeah.
subtle nuances.
right, and it's like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think I know people that have gotten together through dating apps that actually have like really admirable, healthy, cool relationships and shit, which is like dope. But it's just like subjective, you know. I think
Yeah.
that's like
The
one of
old-fashioned way of meeting alcoholics at the bar.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like that doesn't really
You
work
already know
better.
you're fucked from the get go.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
it's like,
Like,
they're inclined toward heavily drinking publicly and spending a ton of money on it. So
and
it's like,
and avoiding their problems
Yeah.
with substances. I mean, this is the woman of my dreams. This is who, this is
She's
who
the
we're
one.
looking for. Who's the one puking behind the bar
Yeah.
at 2
do
a.m?
you just like daydream of like the perfect girl coming and being like, oh, I just want a rafting ride, and you being like, boom, everyone else, no boat time. This is important for me.
Boating is a fun way to hang out with peeps.
That you
Well
probably
said.
meet a lot of cool ass people. I mean, I get to meet a lot of cool people through the show and like rekindle friendships and stuff. Thanks to it, I get to invite people on. Where if I'm like, hey man, drive all the way over to my house and let's put our phones away, and I'm not gonna feed you or anything. We're just gonna sit and talk, looking at each other for like an hour.
See,
You'd be like,
you figured
maybe.
you figured out no, that's great. You figured out the cheat because raft guiding feels so super similarly like. It's
Intimate.
less familiarity with the people, but it's like a super unique job. I kind of can't think of any other ones where you go do something fun with people,
Yeah.
but you're like, I mean, a boat's a small space, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And if you're chilling for like 3-4 hours,
Yeah.
like you just, it's a very unique random interaction that you're going to have with people, which I think is so fucking fun. But this is a really cool way to do that too,
Different
right?
way.
Like,
Yeah,
'cause-
right. You should if you can set up podcast on the boat. You hit one rap and the laptop just flies out. Tiger, that was a bad idea, man.
Dude, we had such a good episode going until
Yeah.
we hit that
It was a
rap, and
solid
then we
15 minutes.
lost it all.
Yeah.
That'd actually be kind of funny. I've been listening to. God, I've gotten so into boating. God, like that's what my little broken heart told me to do, was obsess about something. It's like boating fully draws you into the moment, right? Like the
Flow state, that kind of thing.
flow state,
Yeah.
exactly. If you're looking at literal flow, because it's a river too, it's fun. But if you're looking at like a
Flow.
gnarly rapid and how to run it correctly, and
Oh,
you're
you don't
in there
have
and you're
time to think
paddling
about-
it,
yeah.
you're not like thinking about like anything other. You're just there. It's fully channeling and being like one with yourself and a river and a thing, and that was kind of
And
like my
heartache just sent you off in that direction.
yeah.
How long were you
It
two
did,
together?
like-
I'm so curious. And if you don't want to talk about
Oh
it,
no,
just
I
be
don't,
like,
I
"No,
don't
this is
care.
way too personal.
No, I don't care.
What's your favorite style? I'm kidding.
Too personal.
No, but like, were you like short or like more?
No,
'cause
we
I
were
remember
together
you
for
being,
like 2.5, like 3 years.
It was like long distance for a while, right?
We were both working seasonally for a little while,
That's
and
what it
so
was.
she was working elsewhere and doing seasonal work, and I
Colorado or
was
something?
she was in Colorado for a
Nice.
period.
That's a memory trap.
I
right
know,
there.
good
It's
job,
like-
good
it's
job.
Like literally thinking as hard as I can back like 2 years ago or a year and a half.
Yeah, no, that's where she ended up going back to. Too. It's Colorado. It's like where her fam's from. It's where she's from.
She is dumb. I couldn't imagine going on a catch like you. So if you're listening to this, no, I'm kidding.
Single.
Well, it's so
Tag
weird.
my Instagram. No, I'm just joking.
Because there's such big decisions. Where am I going to live and what partner am I going to have? And they may not be
Wow.
compatible.
Isn't
So
that
it's like-
crazy?
yeah, and they're going to both change the rest of your life, whatever partner you have and whatever place.
I
So
think
it's
that this is like one of the beauties of dating in our generation too, is that I think that when you think about like my grandma or whatever's generation, it was the like soulmate.
link up.
You have the one person out there for you. And I think that our generation, through like having less taboo shit when you're hanging out, like y'all aren't married and like live together and shit, which like
Yeah.
provides a certain
Hey.
level of
I'm kidding. We're not married. We just wear the rings. It's just fun.
it's funny you have the ring.
not-
Because
you guys
I
aren't
was
married.
like, oh shit, these guys are fundamentalist Christians. I had no idea.
I know, exactly. We're like, we don't really like the church isn't like a big thing in our life, and we're like, the government pretty horrible. Why would we pay the government money to be married under religion? It's like,
Yeah.
who are we appeasing at that?
Exactly. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Taxes maybe, but it's
So we call each other
questionable.
partners, and
We
like
don't pay taxes.
a lot of boomers like question us. They're like, "What does partner mean?" And it's like partners in crime. We just
Actually, that's funny. Yeah. What? How long y'all been together?
5 years, going on 4.5.
That's sweet. And like, yeah, as you think about like marriage or anything like that, that is. Are y'all religious at all?
Nah.
Yeah. So right with that vantage point, is marriage even like a? I feel like it was just. This is so to the point of this era of dating is like unique, has its own challenges, but is also so. Like so liberated in so many ways. Like so much shit has happened since like the last few generations, where like it's not this inevitability. Like y'all have this like place you can live in, and it's not like people aren't renting you spaces because you're some like
Can you
not.
imagine?
it-
People wouldn't like rent you spaces
My
unless you were
God,
married.
that'd be
Like,
nutty.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
and it's so different, right?
I
Like,
didn't even consider that used to be a thing.
yeah, no, this is the
Wow.
real shit, and
So
like,
you literally just have to get married, and then you're stuck together unless you want to legally get divorced.
yeah, and it's like, and especially like the folks where they're maybe in like a more Christian community or something like that, which was really,
Everybody.
yeah, exactly,
That's
like
the year
pretty
that it is, it's
ubiquitous.
Christian dated. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like you couldn't even like have sex with somebody before you get married for the most part, and like
It's a
that's
big gamble.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah,
to
it's
be
a
like
massive gamble.
lose your virginity in this act of like, well, we've already made a lifelong commitment. Like that
Yeah.
would be
Nutty.
a really really bizarre thing to have to deal with, and it's kind of cool that we were able to like.
Hey, do
all-
our kinks match up, or does our sex drive match up, or does X, Y, or Z?
Or do you
'Cause,
leave
like,
the fucking toilet seat up, or like leave the fucking cupboards open? Like a bunch of shit about living together that's actually functional. Or like, do you snore
we're thinking
really
of taking the
loud?
covers off the thing just because we're both sick of it. We're both like, what is surface? What is
That's
this, you
funny,
know?
actually. Is it only aesthetic?
No, but it's not even aesthetic because it's like I have to open it, and it's like if it was off, it would force me to keep it aesthetic looking in there.
That's true. You'd have to
compared
keep nice lines.
Yeah, whereas now I'm just like, oh, messy, and I just put a
It's like
cabinet
a
over it.
closet for cups.
Yeah, cup closet, and they all cuddle up in there. They're like, but yeah, like stuff like that is like I mean, because we just moved in together. We've been together that long, but
Mhm.
we've lived together for 3 weeks now. Crazy.
Wow, that's cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's
and
sweet.
we're really happy because so there's like a study that came out. It's like the longer partners wait to move in together, the better chance that they have of being together forever. But part of it's because like it probably weeds the relationships that last short amount of time out already. So it's like who knows which.
That's
reason?
true, but then also
You
like
don't feel trapped.
codependency type
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like if you meet each other and you're both kind of like needing some void filled,
Yeah.
and then you move in together and you start doing that like within 4 months or something.
Yeah,
Like
jeez.
that also could be like a huge big
You're at a
trap, you
boating
know.
void. You're a void that was caused from
Oh.
a lost relationship. I'm gonna shove a boat in that boat.
I got so pitted last year. I had so many like big swims and like I was getting some for a while on the boat. Like not like super successfully. Like I was out there styling stuff. Like I was getting beat down last year in like a really fun way. Like I did step up boating skills hugely, but like
Isn't it really dangerous of a job? Or is that like when you get to like really intense
it
rapids?
depends on
like
where
with
you
a
are.
kayak?
Yeah, so I went to Cali and was working for April, May. And dude, that's some real shit. I was scared at work for sure. It's like,
It'd be weird to have a job that you're scared at every day.
well, and like coming up to certain spots and being like, I met these people 2 hours ago,
Yeah.
and we've got to go like run the shit together right now. And like here we are at this like Crux Rapid, and it's like
Hopefully all good.
it's like your job to rally the team and be like, hey, this
And
is an
train them
athletic.
up.
Yeah,
Not
straight
that
up
much
like
time.
train them.
Yeah.
Like you
in
can
like
be
2
like,
hours. Okay, we have a really intense thing coming up in 2 hours. Listen.
yeah, and so that's the lower section. On the upper section, you start with a class 4 rapid around the corner from your put in. So like,
Oh my god.
The
You
hardest
wa-
part is immediate.
well, no, it's one of multiple class 4s on there. So like you
Jesus.
paddle and do stuff in an eddy. You talk. So there's a big safety talk. You do a paddle talk, and then you have them like practice in the eddy and shit. But then you just drop in and see how she goes. You know, my
Yeah.
buddy that was down
What got
there.
you into this? How would you even potentially be like, that's the direction I'm going to take my
Let's
life?
go.
Or did you go on
Heartbreak.
one
No, I'm
eventually?
just joking.
Heartbreak. Because like for a really quick example, we just went to a boba shop to get boba tea, and I asked the guy, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
did you drink boba tea a ton before you own this? He was like, maybe like once or twice a week. I'm like, how would you get from drinking something once or twice a week
To owning the shop?
one? Yeah, and I was
No.
doing this full time. Like, how do people get into the professions? that they're
Totally.
in? It's a trip.
Mine's way more of like I grew up on the river. I started guiding when I was 18.
On
And
Metolius or which river?
The
oh,
Mackenzie.
the Mackenzie.
Yeah.
I guess I've been to your house. Duh.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that. I did some other rivers and stuff too. And then I met the manager of that company. The Cali thing was like I guess there's like this like loose theme of this like heartbreak breakup situation. That was the fucking whole silver lining and awesomeness of like just to wrap up the point that I feel like I've kind of gotten close to a couple of times. Dating in this era is really cool for reasons like you get to intimately experience and know your partner. You can live together and all of that before. But it also lends itself on the shadowy aspect to it too, of having these like crazy close soul bonds with another human being, and then like also progressing to a place where your lives take you apart.
Yeah.
And you like don't have that anymore. And there's always pros and cons to it. Like,
Much
and
like politics, it's very nuanced where it's like, well, technically this, you know.
yeah, and like
It's
I
rough.
would not have gone to Cali and done what I did probably had I been in a relationship, because it felt really jerk-offy as I was doing it. It felt like this is like just to go run rivers and
Yeah.
fucking do. Like if I was in a relationship, I'd be like, this is like
It'd be
really
hard to convince
meaningful.
them.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like
to be
I'm
like,
not
hey, I'm
gonna
gonna dip
leave
on
to
you for it. Yeah.
to go make what $300 fucking over the course of 2 months. Like I'm not gonna make any real money. I'm gonna spend it all on beer. Just like I'm gonna be like just being
On
a
space beer.
space beer. It's all I drank in California. No, but
Live like a king. You
like
start
a king.
spending all your
Space
money.
beer and
I
no
need an IRA.
no
My
food.
IRA is this massive package of $22
I
beers.
invested $1,000 last year. I'm gonna be fine in the
You
future.
open them up and it's all like dusty, and you're like, oh, this doesn't actually save that well, does it? You put them all in
Just-
like a deep freeze, they're all broken when you open them up. Fuck.
No,
No, that was my IRA. You're like 60 with nothing else.
just dust.
Yeah.
Chop it up and snort it at that
Rough.
point.
Well, we hit an hour. Do you have any like people like want to follow you or interact with you or like take a boat tour if they happen to live
Oh my
here?
God, holler.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's got him single and stable. No, I'm just joking.
Look me up. Hook me up.
Yeah, my Instagram's Nader McTater. If people
Dope.
want to say hi.
And listen to your music, they can find it through there.
Oh
It's kinda all
yeah,
over
actually
your
on
page.
my thingy on Instagram, I have both bands tagged.
Dope.
Actually, I need to tag the new. We'll wrap it up. But the Cali thing, I guided, made a bunch of new friends, had a super fun
Nice.
time. Literally, also started playing in a new band
So you
in
have three
California.
bands.
I have a California band now.
Killer, man. And
Um,
your drums in all of them.
Drums and all of
Dope.
them. Yep. Animalingo, Smear, High Watermark is the Cali new band.
Nice.
Check them all out. They're
Love
all
it, love
cool.
it. All right, his Instagram will be in the description. Lots of love, everyone. Thanks for coming on.
Peace.
All right, it's Kenzie's job. Her job's the gunner. I like taking it.
Yes.
She has two jobs.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, that was a blast.
Oh, that's so fun. God, we should do an episode every day.